Hey everybody, and thanks for returning to my channel today. This is Stanka, and today we're going to be doing a speed paint that I entitled Gone Away is the Bluebird. I have been watching a lot of really amazing artists lately that have been really inspiring me with their process and their techniques that they've chosen to share. This particular technique with these thumbnails I had actually never really considered before, but I've been watching a lot of Danica Sills, and I am just always in love with her little thumbnails. I think they're amazing, and I thought it was a really great idea just because I am always a little unsure what colors I want to use, and I kind of feel a little panicky when I'm doing a sketch with markers. That long pause there was that I was desperately looking for my 58B and couldn't find it anywhere, but all my markers were in the case, and it turns out after 15 minutes of just staring at my markers wondering what wizardry had happened, I had transposed 2 caps. So there's your little look into my life. So anyway, back to the thumbnails. I had kind of a rough idea of what I was looking for as far as a girl that was representative of like the feeling of winter. When I was looking for inspiration for my next piece, I was just bombarded recently by everybody's just hatred of winter because of all the snow we've been getting, and I'm not gonna lie, I am not a huge fan of the snow. I do love cold weather though, so to me it's not all bad, but the snow has been kind of annoying. And so when I picture a representation of death, perhaps, winter, perhaps stereotypically I picture a very pale, icy, feminine figure. And when I thought of winter and kind of the feeling of the painting that I wanted to do, I kind of drew with the allegory of death and being hated just for being what you were, and kind of the sadness that's often associated with the character of death for being so despised, even though it's just a part of life. And so I kind of wanted to depict the same thing with this portrait of winter. And so I was also inspired by the thought of the tune Winter Wonderland, and Gone Away is the Bluebird, which was the inspiration for the title, and I just imagined winter being sorrowful because this bird had died of the cold, but you know, she can't really apologize for who she is. It's just who she is. Another new technique that I tried out with this illustration was I watched a video on color theory by Biana Bova. I hope I pronounced that right. And it just really clicked with me, and that's another reason why I wanted to do the thumbnails, is because she talked about really simplifying your palette. And so I wanted to simplify my palette and see if it came up with something that I was really happy with. And in the end it did. Well, she was talking about color theory with her watercolors, and she really suggested doing a wash beforehand on your picture just to kind of unify the colors. And so I decided to try an acrylic wash, which I just watered down some of my acrylics and did a little light wash and dabbed at it with a paper towel. And at first I wasn't really too sure if I liked the effect. That's why I came back to the painting just now. As you can see, it's a different setup and a different day, because I kind of wanted to let it sit and kind of ruminate in my brain and come back to it another day, just because I wasn't entirely positive if I had just ruined my entire painting. But in the end, I came to really love it. It's definitely a different style than I've ever done, but I'm not mad at it. I'm actually super pleased with how it comes out. And another one of the things that Biana talked about was incorporating your colors, since you have such a limited color palette, into the shadows, and that's a good way to use them and kind of unify everything. So I tried a lot of different colored shadows in this piece, and kind of every flat color got a different color of shadow, and it really did make an interesting composition. So I pretty much tried to pick colors that were kind of opposed to one another, as far as cool colors on warmer colors and vice versa. Some of the colors in my limited palette I actually ended up using for highlights rather than for shadows, but overall it gave the piece a really unified look that I really fell in love with. If I had to do it over again, I probably would try to come up with a slightly lighter wash in the background, and that's just something I'm gonna have to experiment with and or get my hands on some watercolors again. But I still really enjoy the look of the piece. It kind of reminds me of like pop art, and so I was really happy with the overall product. One of the things that I am looking forward to doing in the next couple weeks is that I'm planning on doing a 30-day sketchbook challenge. I've seen a couple of them around YouTube, and I really like the idea, just because when I draw I tend to have to feel like I have to have these like really big, grandiose ideas for the piece, and I'm looking forward to kind of just having some more just for fun pieces without having like a specific message or thing that I'm trying to convey. And what I've done to be able to help myself as far as like muse or subject matter is I'm actually going to be doing 30 days of fan art in my sketchbook, and I'm starting on my list right now. It's not completed yet, which is why I haven't finished it, but I will be taking, if anybody wants to make a request of a character that they particularly like, I'm leaving a few spots open in the calendar to accommodate that. I'd love to hear from you and hear any kind of thoughts you have on that whole process. So just finishing up here, I'm just adding a couple more shadows to everything, and I will be highlighting the hair, and that about finishes the piece. And here's the finished product, and the original the original artwork, as well as currently 5x7 prints, are actually going to be available in my shop, and I'll leave a link to that in the description as well as on the end of the video here. But please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think, any further suggestions, and thanks for stopping by.